Is DeFi dead? Now that's a question I've been getting a lot lately. People are coming up to me and saying, Richard, what has happened to these amazing yields that we've become used to? Is DeFi dead? What's going on? We're going to get into that in this video. Good morning, everybody. Now, before we talk about DeFi and whether DeFi is dead, it's important to understand the difference between DeFi and yield farming. While yield farming is certainly an aspect of DeFi, it is not the whole of DeFi. It is simply a tiny aspect of the decentralized finance world. So let's talk about what has happened to yield farming, why we have seen a drop in these eye-watering APYs, these 1,000, 2,000, in some cases 3,000% annual percentage yields. What typically happened is we saw a little bit of an altcoin season, a very bullish market for altcoins. And as a result of this, we saw a lot of projects coming to the forefront, very similar to 2017. Now, in 2017, tokens were distributed through ICOs. But in 2020, tokens are distributed through yield farming. Let's get into that in a little bit more detail. In other words, I have a project and I need to get my token out to the public. I need to distribute my token to as many people as possible. Typically, the formula for 2020 was I would put my project forward to the public. I would encourage people to get my token onto decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, Balancer, etc. And then I would take those liquidity tokens, the LP tokens, and put them in a yield farm or a mining aspect and pay people back with the same token that my project was all about. So in other words, I would pay people with a token of my project for putting liquidity of my project. Now that gets a little bit complicated, but basically it's a method of distributing a project's token and getting a project well known in the community. But of course, as things turned out, people would sell that token for better known tokens. In other words, Ethereum or stable coins in many cases. And all of the selling pressure on the yields that were being harvested caused the token in most cases to plummet, and that's why we saw the thousands going down to 500s, going down to the low 100s. And of course, in a scenario like that, impermanent loss was very prevalent. So it ended up that these type of yield farming aspects were no longer profitable. Okay guys, now that is a bit of a high level explanation, but basically people would pay you to put liquidity of their project onto decentralized exchanges, and you would be paid in those tokens, and then people would sell those tokens, which would cause the token price to collapse. And so yield farming, I certainly don't think is going anywhere. But what has happened is we are going to see in the future more realistic returns, probably double-digit percentages, or even in some cases single-digit percentages or annual percentage yields, if we want these projects to be sustainable. So projects wanting to distribute their tokens, whether it's with an ICO or yield farming, or wanting to get their tokens out to the community, that is not going to go away. There are going to be innovative ways of communities and projects distributing their tokens, and they always will try and reward the people that are getting the tokens in the community. So we can look out and wait, and hopefully we're going to see some very innovative methods. But yield farming in the current form, I think, is certainly going to taper off in the near future or almost disappear. But obviously, we will see it continuing with the lower yields. Guys, this is just simply my opinion. I may be wrong, so always do your own research. Now, I'm just going to talk about DeFi very quickly, very generally, so that I can show you guys some of my favorite projects, some of the things, and some of the reasons why I think DeFi and decentralized finance is very strong, and it is here to stay. We are going to see it for many years. One of my favorite projects, of course, for taking a decentralized finance loan is Oasis, which is the Maker platform. So here you can trade, you can borrow, and you can save. Currently saving, there's no reward, so it's pretty pointless, but the savings have had percentage yields that have been reasonable in the past, and I have no doubt that that will come back in the future. As you can see on this platform, the Maker platform, there are 3 different types of decentralized finance activities that you can get involved in. Compound finance, arguably the guys that brought this whole DeFi yield farming craze to the forefront with their compound token, where you could lend or borrow money and you would earn the compound token as a yield, which was something that I made videos on. It was something that was really, really profitable and a very, very solid project. And as I say, probably boosted this whole yield farming craze into existence. Of course, Uniswap. Now, guys, this is a really successful story. You can currently yield farm on Uniswap. Your percentages are somewhere between 10 and 30% annual percentage yield if you farm the Uni token, but it's not a weak project. It's a very, very solid project. Let me just show you that quickly. There are 4 pools at the moment. These pools are going to be around for the next 27 days. There's an ETH DAI pool, an ETH USDC pool, ETH USDT, and of course an ETH and wrapped Bitcoin. We're seeing Bitcoin coming onto the Ethereum platform in the way of wrapped Bitcoins. But these pools, as I say, I think at this pool you're getting around about 10 to 12%, and this pool you're getting sort of 26 to 28%. So the yields are not eye-watering, but they're certainly there in a very, very low-risk, solid project. And of course, the Uniswap exchange, where you can swap your tokens in a decentralized manner. Uniswap being one of the exchanges that has outperformed most centralized exchanges over the last few months, which is something that we haven't seen before. Very, very exciting news for decentralization, but also decentralized finance. Of course, Balancer, one of my protocols where I really also like to do yield farming. I did make a video on that. If you look back, you'll see that video. But Balancer, also a decentralized exchange where you can swap Ethereum for a host of ERC20 tokens. Here you can see XR, the South African stable coin that you can swap for. These pools are still providing good yields and of course have an excellent use case, that being decentralized exchanges. Then just finally, in closing, let's not ignore what is happening on the Tron network. We've got Sun.io, and they are providing yield farming applications very similar to what we saw on the Ethereum backbone. However, exactly what happened with Ethereum and with the token that you mine, the Sun coin has been dropping in value steadily over the last couple of weeks. As people mine this token, of course, they sell it, and that creates more selling pressure, and the Sun token drops and drops in value. So I've really done a lot of mining on this platform. Once again, I also made videos on this, and I found it to be an excellent platform and very easy to use and great way to mine. It is also running. It's got a couple of days left. You can see I think we're on generation 3, if I'm not mistaken, and the rewards are getting less and less, and of course the token is getting less and less in price. And then on the Tron network, something that would be the equivalent of Uniswap or Balancer is of course JustSwap, which is a decentralized exchange on the Tron network. So guys, you can see from all these examples and some of my favorite sites which I've shared with you this morning, DeFi is certainly by no stretch of the imagination dead. It is here to stay. It is booming, and it is a very, very exciting industry to be in. I certainly will continue to research DeFi. I'll continue to bring you guys exciting DeFi projects. Yield farming, on the other hand, is taking a very bad dip, and we are not seeing those returns. I don't think it's dead, but I think that things are going to become a lot more realistic in the near future. That's it from me. I'm out.